Hey Heatherbrae, it's your friendly neighborhood iTech here, and as promised, here's a quick video on Google Calendar and CalenMob, which are both tools you should definitely use for planning and organizing, and completely gets rid of the need for that calendar and a eraser on your desk. But in all honesty, if team leaders could create an assessment calendar, especially when we get all of our information for second quarter with the GVC into a Google Calendar and then share it with our administration and your team. That way, as it changes, they can be up to date and everyone on the same page. So here, I'm just going to share my screen with you really quick. Here's my Symbaloo, which is a web screen that kind of makes everything look like apps. So I'm going to go into my Gmail. From my Gmail, there are these little 9 dots over in the right-hand corner of your screen, and those are your apps for Google, in case you didn't know. And if I click on it, I have Google Calendar right here. And I can click on that and open it. And here, it's going to try and teach me about it. And okay, upgrade, cool. So I prefer to look at mine by month. Now, as you can see, mine has a lot of colors on it and a lot of fun stuff. Well, I have quite a few calendars that I like to have on my paper. So I'm just going to show my second grade, or well, that's me taking away my second grade calendar. So display only this calendar. Over on the left-hand side of my screen is where all of my calendars live. So I have my personal calendar, my second grade team calendar, my birthday calendar, a Heatherbrae school calendar, which is like our PTO events and after-school events and such, and then tasks. So again, with the kind of personal thing. We've had a few calendars shared with us, like Go Sign Me Up classes. There was a Heatherbrae school in last year. Holidays in the United States, and then there's also an iTech calendar, which you probably don't need, but I do. So if I'm viewing just my second grade team planner, first, if I wanted to make mine, because I didn't have mine already, I would come over to my calendar, and I'd push the little arrow. So I'm going to click the arrow, and it says Create New Calendar. So if I create a new calendar, it would ask me to name the calendar, and you'd put your grade, team planner, team calendar, team assessment calendar. You don't really need a description unless you really want one. Don't really need a location unless you want one. And then share this calendar with others. You should probably not do everyone. However, sharing with specific people, which is a little further down on the page, would be a great option, since you should share with your team and share with our administrators, Eva, Julie, probably Bobby, but ask those people if they need your calendar, and you can share it with them at any time. So then you would hit Create Calendar. I'm going to hit Cancel since I have one. But now if I'm in my calendar and I want to add an event, I'm going to click on the day. So let's say October 1st. I'm going to click on the date. Oh, look, it comes up as an event on Thursday, October 1st, and it's in the calendar, second grade team planner. If I don't want it to be in that calendar, I can click on it and my other calendars show up. So I want it in my second grade team calendar. I want this to be Bridge Day. So I like to have mine color coded based on the subject and what we're teaching, because ours has more than just our assessments. But if I'm just doing assessments, then it doesn't really matter. But for the sake of learning, let's go ahead and look at how to change those colors. So I'm going to go into Edit Event, which is down on the bottom, and it brings me up to it. So I have Bridge Day. I still want it on October 1st. You can choose for it to be all day, or you can choose for it to be at a specific time. All you have to do is unclick the all day and time show up. So if you want it to be specific, I leave it all day. When you only do a specific time, it makes a little dot I'll show you in a moment. And if you put it as all day, it makes a bar. And I prefer the bar, so I just leave it as all day. You can always say that you're not like busy, like you're still available, so it doesn't conflict with other things you have at the time. But if you want, you can do available or busy. Event details is you don't need the where. You make sure you have the correct calendar selected, and then you can choose a color. Our assessments are yellow in second grade, so I don't want to use yellow. But I could do teal. Teal would be a good bridge day color. You can be available or busy. Visibility, default. Calendar default is just what I leave it as. There's no reason to change it. And then you come back up to the top and hit Save Event. So now on October 1st, I have Bridge Day. And you can see here how it's kind of a little bar, and all of mine are bars, except for Open House, for example, in September was, or I don't know why that's in September, but it's a little red dot, or literacy night, which is tonight, is a little red dot. That's if you give it a specific time. So for example, this one says 5 p.m. and it's a little dot. So that's the difference between giving them specific assigned times and just putting it as all day. And up here it will tell you that you have added Bridge Day. So then you just continue to make those events. If you're just doing your assessment calendar, you probably have around 10 events you need to add. So you can either designate one person to make this calendar for your team. You can each take a subject and make the calendar for your team. But however you want to make it, you can decide as a team or just your team leader, and then send it to those people so everyone has one. And then as you go through the year, you can change it and update it so everyone has the same calendar all the time, so no one's calendar gets out of whack, which can totally happen. So now if you're on your iPad, Google Calendar isn't the best app in the entire world on your iPad. So instead, we suggest CalenMob. If you go into the App Store and you select and you type in CalenMob, there will be a red paid option and a blue not paid option. I prefer the blue. So you can choose this, download it, and you sign into your Gmail. So make sure you sign into Gmail with your school account so that those calendars will download, since that's where you're making this calendar. So once you have that downloaded, I'm going to stop sharing my screen. Back to me. Okay, so this is like the best way I can do this. Here we go. I'm going to go into, here's my CalenMob. And now, here is that same Google Calendar you were just seeing, except for now it's on my iPad screen. And the way I can do this is up in the top corner, there's a settings. It looks like a little cog. And if I tap on that, it brings up the setting area. My default calendar is the second grade team planner, so that will always show up. But if I want to manage them, I select calendars, and it shows me all of the calendars I have on my Gmail, my Google Calendar. And so I can select or unselect the ones I want on my CalenMob. I currently have all of mine showing. So then I can go back to settings and come out and then be able to see those calendars. So that's what I can see in CalenMob. It basically looks exactly the same. I can add events the same way. I can take off events. It's just a much more user-friendly application than the regular Google Calendar app. So once again, that's called CalenMob. It is free. If you have any questions after watching this video, please call Erin or I. We'd be happy to help you. I'm 5210. She's 528, or not 5210. That's Miss Stevens, 3210, and she's 3218. And we'd be happy to help you. There's 2 questions down below about the video and what you need from us as your iTechs to help you implement Google Calendars and CalenMob into your life or classroom. So if you could complete that, so I know you watched. This does count as our Tech in 10, so I need to make sure everyone is attending. So that's it. If you have any questions, give us a call. All right. Thank you. Bye.